reflections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, thanks for joining me on the living room floor. And I have a goal today. Of course, my goal is to get everything up and running. And when the sun goes down tonight, we're going to light this village up and let this old train race. Now, you tuned in for the first episode of putting together this old Lionel train set. You left so many wonderful comments. I didn't know so many of you would enjoy it. I should have known, because we all share, well, maybe not all, but many of us share these memories of fathers and grandfathers and uncles playing with trains on the floor. Now, you girls did too. I'm going to talk later about that 1957 or 58 pastel-colored train that Lionel put out for girls. It was a flop, but they tried. I think some young girls enjoyed the trains, but it was kind of mostly a guy thing, you know? Well, there's the automatic brakeman way back there that I was fiddling. A gateman, not brakeman. I'm not sure if that's where he's going to live, but for now, that's where I'm going to keep him. The early Depression 1930s set is right there. It's Lionel again, of course. And as I told you, the one that belonged to an uncle that my father played with first, and then this one was given to him in the probably about 1950. By the way, I want to thank a subscriber. I wasn't sure. The automatic gateman is right there, and I thought he might have been from 1947, 48, 49, but a viewer who knows about trains said, oh no, that's definitely pre-war, and he told me why. So prior to 1940, 41. Okay, today is putting together, lighting up the little village. Now, these houses are going to date to right around 1930. Now, of course, when I say 30, 1929, 1933, something like that. And I'll give you a closer look at them. They all have wooden bases, which I'm not using because they take up too much space. But the wooden platforms that each house sits on have little sidewalks on them and old shrubbery. I just can't use them because I don't have the space anymore. Or I don't have the space right here on this floor. But we can see they're covered to look like stucco. And the design is all very typical of houses you'd see in the late 20s and early 30s. And there's 6 of them here. So we've got... nothing's been done. They're absolutely all original except the old cellophane windows. Well, they didn't. They crumble and they fall out. I replaced them. I'm going to come in later and replace them with something a little darker, maybe just another layer, because it's a little too transparent or translucent. There I am with those vocabulary words again. I want the windows to be just a little bit darker, and they were a little bit darker originally. That's the only thing that had to be replaced on the houses. Now, I've got a tangled up mess here on the floor, you can see. Today I'm going to be installing street lamps and illumination for the houses themselves. Now, these are the old iron lamps. And there are little light bulbs inside of here. You pull this cap off and screw the light bulb in. And these are going to stand all along the little town. And they're hooked to the track via these things called lock-ons. I think I called them lockdowns in the first video because of being on lockdown, but they're called lock-ons. And you might have been with me this summer when I bought about 10 of these at a flea market. I needed some more. I had made the mistake of buying some modern reproductions that are very poorly made, so I was able to get some old ones from the 50s, and these are fantastic. So be hooking up the street lamps to the lock-ons. I've got to untangle this mess. These are the little electric lights that are going to go underneath the houses. Now, I've already done 2 of them over here. I'm going to show you how I do it. But we'll just pick this house up and this house up. Now, anyone who really does layouts, you're going to have to pardon my sloppy wiring. Normally, I would be on a ping pong table or some type of a table, a platform where you can fish the wires down underneath and be much more professional about it. I have to just do the best I can to get this up and running, just for the few days that I enjoy it during the Christmas season, but it doesn't permanently stay up. Okay, I'm going to put my camera, secure my camera to something else and get started wiring these street lamps. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Okay, one little street light is all ready to go. Let's give her the juice and see if we've got some illumination here. There we go. Yes, can you see it? See it light up? There goes the train. Okay, let's back it up. Let's back this up here. Hold on, here we come. Now, you may notice that as I give the juice on the transformer, my street light is growing bright or dim. That's because I actually have the track, I have the lock-on hooked onto the track, which is variable current. So I can increase the voltage on the track. Really, I should have the lamp on a not direct current. What am I trying to say? So on a regular layout, things that are illuminated such as street lights and houses and other things, they should be hooked up to the terminal that provides consistent voltage. But we're not going to do that now. Again, as I said, this is just sort of a quick, let's get it set up and get it running. So as I speed up the train, the lights are going to get brighter. As I slow the train down, the lights will get dimmer. But normally, that's not how you would wire it. But I'm excited. Let's have that light up one more time. Even though there's sunlight in here, I think you can still see. There he goes. Let's bring the train around for you. Park it right there for a minute. Now, a lot of you are going to remember right here is the smokestack on these locomotives, and we would drop, well, I've got them around here somewhere. You drop these little pellets inside, and they heat up, and this thing will puff away. Now, some folks say, well, you shouldn't breathe that in. Oh, I'm only going to breathe it in for a couple of weeks during Christmas time. I'll be okay. But that's the way they made these. And there's a heating element inside of here. You might see just a little bit of it. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I need to put another pellet in there. But there's a little bit of smoke wafting up from the locomotive, and there's nothing on the planet that smells like that. Oh my goodness. You can close your eyes and smell that old smoke, and you take yourself back 40, 50, 60, well, in my case, more than 40 years. I'm 53, and of course, all the memories of playing with the train. Okay, let's hear the whistle. Hey, there she goes. Well, I had a little visit from quality control who said variable current, and we're not having it. You're going to do it right or not do it at all. Is that correct? All right, well, you go back to sleep and I'll fix the problem and you can come and give your final inspection. Well, realizing that I have two transformers, this is the little one, and then the large one I'll show you in a minute. I said, oh, why not? Now, these are the posts right here, the terminals that provide non-variable current. It's a straight, consistent amount of current, and what I've done, let's see here, is I've just put down an independent piece of track. Now, no train is going to be traveling on this piece of track because all my lockdowns are on here, and when I turn this transformer on, we're getting juice at a consistent voltage here, shooting all the way through this track, and I'm going to run it all the way down behind the houses, and I'm going to be able to lock on, oh, my street lamps and the illumination and the tower over here. And so it will work opposite the transformer that's running the train. That also helps give me the maximum amount of juice to the tracks. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, now this is a fun piece of action to hook up. I've got some accessories here that are post-war. These are a pair of crossing gates, automatic crossing gates, and these are Lionel. This piece over here, I believe, may be Marx, M-A-R-X, or perhaps American Flyer. I'm not a specialist at all, as you know, but I'm fairly certain that this piece is not a Lionel piece. How it came into this collection beats me, but here it is. I'm going to show you how to hook these up, and it's a bit complicated. And I'm going to do it probably the easiest way that I know. Now, over here is the big transformer, which I paid a little bit of money a few years ago to have revamped and restored because it had seen many, many years of play. And as you can see here on the front, well, let me get around so you can see it. I'm hooked up. We have lots of terminals here for all different amounts of current. And so I'm hooked up to, what am I hooked up to? About 108, I'm sorry, not 108, 18 volts. And then there the universal and the common, and then there are other terminals here for your fixed voltage accessories. But the way we're going to do this is first to show you sort of the elementary electronics involved. And you know, one of the viewers said, and he was spot on. And he said, you know, putting these train sets together taught children, this wasn't just play. This taught you problem solving. You had to know a little bit about geometry. You certainly had to learn the fundamentals and the basics of electricity. And you had to put some elbow grease into it. Trial and error. And that's what I think I loved so much about it when I was little. Here's the lock-on that comes from the transformer. Ignore the fact that most of the old silk is coming off of the cord. We're off. Well, no, we're on. Now we're off. Okay, we're set on off over here, so fear not. I know you can't see that because of the light. I'm going to take the lock-on here and clip it onto the track. Let me secure my camera first. Okay, this is the lock-on that comes from the transformer, and it supplies all the power for the train. I'm going to take it and lock it onto a piece of track. Now, this is a non-insulated standard piece of track. We're just going to lock it in place. It snaps on just like that. And we're providing direct juice to the first and second rail. But what would be the ties underneath here, they're made of metal and they're not insulated. So we're actually getting current through all three pieces of track. If I were to take a regular piece of track, well, what I want to do is create an insulated piece of track where there's no current. If I take a regular piece like this and I connect it. You see these pins? You know, this is what holds the track together, all these pins. Let me see here. I need to get one more pin right there. Okay. The minute I connect this track and all three of these metal pins touch the next piece of track, we've completed the current. But I don't want that. So what I have to do is remove one pin, and I'm going to remove the pin from the outer part of the track where the transformer is not connected, and I'm going to stick in a little plastic pin. This is an insulator. So in it goes. I'll put these two pieces of track together. And what I've just done is I've insulated this rail. No juice. When I turn on the transformer, nothing. But it's not just because I've put a little piece of plastic in there instead of the steel rods. If I turn this track upside down, you'll notice something different if I get it in the right light. On this track here, we have an insulator in the middle, but not on the outer two rails. This is made of, the piece in the middle is usually cardboard or fiber or something that doesn't conduct electricity. On this piece of insulated track, you'll notice that you can only see steel right here, but the middle and third rail are insulated. We have to do that. All right, so now I have a completely insulated piece of track, just this piece right here. But I've also got to connect it. Notice, again, the steel pins are only in the first and second, but not on this third rail. And when I stick this in, because this is already an insulated piece of track, turn on the juice, we have power here. Am I in the we have power here, and we have power here, but not here. So what I'm going to do is attach to this piece, the insulated piece. Oh my goodness, I'm twisted here. Hold on. Okay, it's in. There's the lock on. And what I want to have happen is I want the circuit to be completed at a certain point in time. My stop signal crossing light will come on. Can you see it? Just barely see it. And my two gates will come down and light up. What completes the circuit? Aha, you ask. Well, when the train passes over the track, and I'm just going to take the caboose here and put it on. And if we've got it wired right, it'll work the first time. If not, we go back to the drawing board. When the train, and in this case, the caboose, when it contacts this track that's insulated, it's going to complete the circuit. Bam, our action should work. So are we ready? Okay, this is a better angle. I think we should be able to get a better view right now. Now, as I said, I have the two gates, my automatic gates lined up here, hooked up. And over here, oh, just in time comes quality control. Thank you. Oh, what do you want? You want my lap is what you want? Well, you can't have it just yet. The two crossing gates and the stop signal here. Now, when I turn on the juice right here, nothing should happen. If anything happens, then Salem, may we help you? May we help you? I guess we may. When we turn on the juice right here, nothing should happen. If anything happens, it means I've wired it wrong. Now remember, turn on the juice. We have about 18 volts going through this dilapidated cord right here into this piece of track only. This piece of track only, yes. We insulated this piece in the middle, and we've got juice again on the outer track. What completes the circuit? Well, as the train passes over the track, the circuit is complete, and we should have some action. So, Salem, let me see, what am I going to do with you? I'm going to just ask you to, yes, very good. Okay, just go over there and play with your mouse. All right, here we go. There's the juice. Nothing happened. Not supposed to. Ready? Let's complete the circuit. There we go! Woohoo! And then as the caboose passes over the track, once again the circuit is broken. Now, depending on how long the train is, that's how long you're going to get the action over here, because these are going to do their thing as long as we have steel making the connection. Let's see that one more time. Let's push it backwards. There it is. And just once more. How's it look? Looks all right. Let's try it again. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm going to turn the power off. Well, folks, that's going to do it for today. I've got other things I need to do. I'll be back again. I'm just not going to leave you hanging. We're going to see this whole train. It might not be until Christmas Eve, but I promise. Right, Mr. Supervisor? Okay. Okay, this is Scott and Salem from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching, and so long for now.